eye makeup may be a little too dramatic, but it's cool. Hey guys, Sky Simone here with the video. As you can tell by the link below, today's video is going to be kind of like a story time-ish, motivational, inspirational type video. I probably won't do a lot of story times on my video only because my life isn't that interesting, so I don't really feel like I'm gonna have a lot to talk about as far as story times, but I mean, we'll see. So let's just go ahead and get straight into it. When I was in the 6th grade, well, let me backstart. When I was in the 6th grade, I spent part of my 6th grade education in elementary school and the other half in middle school, because I grew up in PG County. And when I was younger, it's not this way now, but when I was younger in PG County, 6th grade was considered elementary school. So in elementary school, I was in the 6th grade and I transferred from PG County Elementary School to a Charles County Middle School. Now, when I was in PG County, it was just different. Like, everything about PG County was just different. Like, the people were different, the standards were different, everything was just different. So when I came to Charles County, you know, I'm like, I'm gonna be optimistic, I'm gonna be myself, I'm gonna, you know, go in here and make friends, finesse this school, and then bam, wrong, totally wrong. One of my first days at my Charles County Middle School, and mind you, me transitioning from elementary school to middle school was already a big step, because I was going from, you know, being the top of the school to being at the bottom and going to school with kids older than me. So I never really had like a graduation, like an elementary school graduation, or like a smooth transition. It was just half elementary school, half middle school, if that makes sense. Anyway, so when I first got to Charles County, I remember like one of the first instances was I was on the bus and my mom dropped me off at school the first day, and I think I maybe came like 8th period, so I didn't really have a real first day. But the second day I got there, I rode the bus, and I remember sitting in the front seat, and it's like, you have like a mirror, like where the bus driver is, like the bus driver, and you that big ass mirror, and everybody can see themselves. I remember sitting in the front seat and looking over, and like some boys were looking at me, and I'm thinking, oh, like maybe they think I'm cute. So I'm like, you know what I'm saying, fixing my hair, like I'm gonna pull me a little boo. And they were actually laughing at me, and I'm just like, what the fuck are they laughing at? Like, am I a joke? Like, I'm confused as to what they're laughing at. So off the bat, like, that whole bus ride kind of just made me like reevaluate some things. I'm like, damn, like maybe my first day of school isn't gonna be that great, you know, like, are people gonna laugh at me all day? So when I got to school, the kids, I mean, they weren't necessarily mean to me, but I mean, I was the new girl, so I guess everybody was, you know, kind of trying to fill me out or whatever, but they weren't necessarily mean to me like my first week. So as you know, the days continue to go by, I will always ride the bus, and it was just these group of boys, and they were just so mean to me. Like, they would just like laugh at me and just like look at me like I disgust them. And I remember riding the bus home and looking in that mirror. I should have sat my ass in the back, because that mirror was what was messing me up. But I just remember looking in that mirror and looking at the boys' reflection, just looking at me, and like they're making like these like faces, like calling me ugly. And I'm just like, are the standards different in Charles County? Because when I lived in PG County, like, I was pulling them. I'm not gonna lie. Like, for a 5th and 6th grader, I was pulling them. I mean, I wasn't like a little roller or like fast or anything, but the boys really liked me. So I was just so confused as to maybe like the standards of beauty are different in Charles County. Like, they just were not fucking with me. So I remember being in class, 6th grade year, being in class, and it was this boy, and I want to say his name so bad, but I'm like, you know what, let me just not say his name. But I really truly want to say his name. And it was this boy. He would always pick on me, like always pick on me, like just call me names, call me ugly, just like lower my self-esteem to the point where it was like, I didn't even want to like go to school sometimes, or I would just like go to the bathroom. And I remember crying in the bathroom, like, I don't want to be here. Like, I do not want to be in this school. They're not fucking with me. I'm not fucking with them. Like, I didn't even like what I looked in the mirror when I, you know, I didn't even like what I looked in the mirror anymore. Like, that's how low my self-esteem was. And I remember, like, kids, nobody really like defended me. Everybody kind of laughed, you know, like whenever he would make a joke, I would always be the butt of the joke. Like, no matter what, I would always be the butt of the joke. And like, the kids would just laugh at me. And it was to the point where it was like, back then I didn't defend myself. Like, I was afraid to speak up. I was afraid to, you know, just like clap back, you know, like I was just afraid because my self-esteem, it was just so low. So I guess by everybody, you know, seeing him bully me and me not say anything, they thought that I was sweet for it. I mean, which I was back in the day. So it went from one kid calling me ugly to like a plethora. And it was mainly boys. Like, it was mainly boys. Like, for the most part, like the females, like I had a couple females that I was cool with. But like the females, like they didn't really give me too much of a hard time. But it was just the boys. And I just remember thinking like, am I that ugly? Like, that everybody is like picking on me? Like, do I really look that bad? And it was to the point where it's like, I really just, I don't know, like even when like my family or something would call me beautiful, I didn't believe it because the boys at school were just so damn mean to me. And I remember coming home from the bus and walking home to the bus stop, and it was like a group of people. And this boy was like, yeah, do you have a boyfriend? And I'm like, no. And he was like, you want to know why? Because you're ugly as shit. He literally said that to me. And I'm just like, what did I do? Like, I didn't say anything to these boys. I don't bother them. I didn't beat up their girlfriends. Like, I'm just confused as to what the problem is. So when it really got worse was maybe, I want to say maybe 7th grade. And I just remember walking down the hallway. No, I wasn't in the hallway. I was in the pods. We had this thing called like the 7th, the 6th, and the 8th grade pods. And it was pretty much just like a circle of classrooms. So it's like whenever you get out of class, you would just walk around the pod. And in each little section of the pod were classrooms, if that makes sense. And I remember I was walking around the pod. It was me and like a group of kids, and the boy who was always mean to me, like the main one, me and him, for whatever reason, we were going back and forth. And this was the day I'm like, you know what, I'm not gonna take this shit no more. You're not gonna keep bullying me and calling me names. And he said something to me. I can't remember what he said, and I defended myself, and I'm like, well, shut up, and you're ugly, or fuck you, something. And he was like, you're ugly, you look like a moose. And when I tell you, like, I've never been that embarrassed. And I was mainly embarrassed because we were in the pod, like one of the 7th grade pods, and it's like literally everybody from the classroom heard it. Like, everybody heard him call me a moose. And it was like, to them it was funny. Like, they were weak. Like, they were just cracking the fuck up laughing. Like, that was just the funniest thing they've ever heard. But to me, like, when I tell you that, like, it hurt my feelings so bad, because it was just like, okay, I already come to school every day afraid to just like be myself and just be myself, because I know, like, even if I try to, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I tried to kind of stay out of the way, you know, like I would just kind of I tried to, you know, stay quiet and just like isolate myself, because I didn't want to make myself, I didn't want to be like the center of attention, because I just felt like, I don't know, like maybe if I talked out of turn, or maybe if I just said something to cause attention to myself, I would be bullied or somebody would call me ugly. And it was just like the fact that everybody was just so weak by that, them calling me a moose. I didn't even have a comeback. Like, everybody's laughter lowered my self-esteem, and I'm just like, whatever, and I just walked. And I remember going home and I just cried so bad. Like, I didn't tell my mom or anything, because my mother's crazy. My mother will go up to the school, curse the kids out, curse the parent. I mean, she probably wouldn't curse the parents out, but she's not about to let anybody bully her daughter. And I just didn't want, I just knew that was gonna make it worse. Like, I didn't want any kids saying I'm a punk and I'm ugly because I brought my mom up there. So from that day forward, from like the middle of 6th grade to maybe like the middle of 8th grade, people called me a moose. Like, they would literally, they would use that to hurt me, you know, like whenever I tried to defend myself, they'd be like, shut up, you moose, and shut up, moose. And it's just like the word moose, it got so bad, like I didn't even want to hear the word moose. Like even if we were in like a geography class or something and they were talking about moose, like I would kind of put my head down because I'm like, wow, like I know somebody's gonna laugh at me, I know somebody's gonna look at me and be like, yeah, they're talking about you. Like it really got that bad, and it was just to the point where it was like, I literally did nothing to anybody. Like I'm nice to everybody, and the fact that I can't even go to school and feel comfortable because I know somebody's gonna call me ugly, and when I tell you that shit lowered my self-esteem to the ground. Like middle school was the worst. Like I hated middle school so bad. I never in my life want to go back to middle school because I hated it so bad. And it didn't really get until like maybe the end of middle school where I started, I don't want to say I hung with like the cool kids, but like some of the girls that I hung with, like they didn't play that shit. Like they wasn't about to let nobody, you know, come for me. So I guess that was kind of like what maybe like broke me out of my shell. But from 6th grade to early 8th grade, like it was bad. Like boys every day would just be so mean to me, like just you're ugly, this and that. But the whole thing is, fast forwarding to, you know, what, 9-10 years later, the same boys that were mean to me and calling me all these names, when I tell you they're in my DMs, or when I see them, I don't know if I look different now or if I'm less ugly, but when I see them, they really try to talk to me, and it's just like, do you not remember going on me and tormenting me most of my middle school career? Now you're in my DMs, and they're not even cute. Like back in the day, I don't know what I was thinking, but I used to think some of these boys were cute. And the crazy thing about it is, the crazy thing about it is, maybe like a couple months ago, I saw the guy who called me a moose. I wouldn't say his name so damn bad. The guy who called me a moose, I actually saw him at my job. And when I tell you, karma is a bitch. When I tell you, he looked, I've never wanted to call anybody ugly, and I think that whole experience is why I don't call people ugly. So I'm not, oh, my camera died. But I actually forgot the last thing I said, but pretty much the main message of this video is to the bullies out there who are bullying and you think that shit is cool. It's gonna come back to you. It's gonna come back to you. So just be prepared. Stop your bullying now, or the shit will come back to you. And I feel like one of the reasons, I feel like the word ugly is such an ugly word. Like I never use that word ever. Like even if, you know, a girl, you know, is faking on me or hating on me, like I'm never gonna call anybody ugly, because I know what it feels like to be called ugly. And when I tell you that word, like something about the word ugly, it's just an ugly word. Like that's just such a degrading and just like hateful word. Like it's just ugly. Like why would you call somebody ugly? Like I just hate that word, period. So, you know, for those of you who are bullying out there and you think it's cool and you think constantly tormenting someone, especially the younger generation, because I mean, like in our 20s we really don't have that problem, but like middle school, high school, I'm telling you, if you are out there bullying somebody and you think that shit is cool, karma is going to get back to you. I'm telling you, karma is going to get back to you. Because when I look at some of these dudes, and maybe like a couple of the females who used to like fake on me in middle school, when I tell you they're not doing shit with their lives, they look a mess. And I mean, yeah, you can't call me ugly now. I mean, you can, but that's not going to like lower my self-esteem. And to those of you who are being bullied right now, hang in there, because it will get better. And the people who are bullying you, I promise you, 10 times out of 10, years from now, they're going to come back and try to talk to you, or try to, you know, be in your face, or try to be your best friend. Like it really does get better. It really truly does get better. And I really do feel bad for people who are, you know, constantly bullied and don't have a voice, because I mean, I can never really say I wanted to take my life because the bullying was so bad, because I'm a Christian and I just believe that suicide is the ultimate sin, because I just feel like you're giving up on God. Like you're supposed to give God all your problems, and if you take your life, you just gave up on God, you know? So I'm never gonna say that the bullying was, you know, so bad I wanted to take my life, but I really do I could see how, you know, a person can get to the point where it's like they just can't take the bullying anymore and they want to end their life. And if you're watching this video, hang on. Like, hang in there and be strong. Don't let anybody talk to you any kind of way. Be strong and work on your clapbacks, honey, because if I was a clapback queen like I am now, I'll trust and believe I would have had clapbacks for days for them 6th graders. But I mean, it's a different story now. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Like I said, I probably won't do a lot of story times because I don't really have a lot of stories to tell. I mean, I have some stories to tell, but I don't think I can save them on YouTube. But I mean, we'll see how this thing works. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I was probably, you know, rapping, but whatever. And until the next time, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Let us know what you think, if you've ever been bullied, or if you are bullied, or anything bully related. If you have a bully experience, you know, share it with me. I really want you guys' input. And until the next time, thank you for watching.